And one more time, good afternoon, dear women in tech. I want to thank you. We've been working together with the Women in Tech 15 core team hard to get you here. Well, not really hard. It has been so much fun. And now, as the great day, not the great week, but the great day is coming to its end, it's time to thank you, but also share with you the ideas that you shared with us first and with me in order to make a great summary of your thoughts. So more food for thought to you from you. Let me try to interpret that. So we did the same survey already 2013, and as having a bit of a researcher background, I've been long enough outside university that I've done this and that, but that kept me interested in one question, that we could do some comparison between this audience, what we had, some of them you are regulars who are already here for the second time, and with the others. So the questions that we posed this year. So the questions were, how much does leadership as a task or a job interest you? How could we get more girls and women interested in technical industries? What would you give up or what you have given up in your working life? What inspires you in working life? And a new question, what could make a difference engaging more women in technology? And then, would you be ready to start a career as an entrepreneur in technology? So these were the questions we asked from you. We wanted to keep it sweet and short and light, as you remember. So not too much of background information and not really about these kind of things that you end up in normal in polls often, but we wanted to really get to the point since we had the pleasure of meeting you here. Yes, this piece of information, this survey, the results of the survey will be also of interest of media. I'm sure it was also the case last time. This time we conducted it in English only. Last time we had both English and Finnish. That might be an explanation why we didn't get this time as many answers as 2 years ago. On the other hand, the sample, I think, was quite representative, so the number of non-Finnish speakers responding to this wasn't that much bigger in proportion what was 2 years ago, based on the email addresses that participated in the lottery organized with the survey, i.e. there were quite many names that I can interpret still that were kind of a theories of origin. So I've put some of the thoughts, some thoughts, not mine, together to this presentation and to give us more food for thought. One of them is from a media company called Brandwatch, operating in 30 countries, and they've noticed this year that women are more active on social media than men when it comes to overall internet users. And however, it's important to note that women interact in different ways and are leading the shift from desktop mobile, where social media is desktop to mobile, where social media is concerned. So I think that is an interesting point of view from the usability perspective. Also, coming with the generation changes, at Fingertip we are discussing with our usability issues like who are the ones that tap and who are the ones that swipe, because that's, swiping generation or tapping generation. So that's definitely, there is a difference. So I've grouped the questions, and I would like to start now thinking like this general question, or how could we get more women and girls interested in technical industries? So a great comment from you, math is a girl's best friend. Isn't it so? So let's all celebrate it and think like that. Influence also the male leaders to create female-friendly workplaces and recruit competent women. Well, I think we got here a good promises from many prominent men in our working life. so that they will hire women. And I think it's also important that we have this point of view of, like, what is also a female-friendly workplace, How do we gigs in different fields come together? Bring design and usability, customer-centric service and product design to the front. There is a reply and a respondent thinking that, these are the strong points of women. You may agree or disagree. I like it. And I think it's a great comment as well, a myriad of ways. There's a current gap with mentoring, media and training. The more we can get mentors to help young women to code, tinker and interact with women in tech, the increased probability they will follow in their footsteps. So, visibility. And that this today was, again, all about also. And combine other aspects of academic fields with technology. And that resonates to me well, because I'm actually a behavior scientist by background. And I just accidentally happened to start working with technology 15 years ago. So, well, I did have some studies on technical industry and strategy, but no, I wasn't really a coder by that sense. And then I think that we need to give the next generation good role models. And I think on this stage you've seen many today. Madeleine Albright thinks that it's important for the women to help another. So let's put these words now bravely to Mrs. Madeleine Albright's mouth. So thank you for suggesting. I was quoting her. So yes, there is a special place in hell for women who don't help each other. So continuing with these steps, removing the mystery, creating spaces where you can explore. Today afternoon I felt very much when I was listening the results of the workshops. Unfortunately, you could only attend one. It was really a tough choice for me. Change of attitude among the industry leaders. Well, we are working on that one. Having more events for women. Well, here we are. Maybe we should do this every month. Who knows? And then we should also understand the motivation behind, technology. And for example, our great keynote from Tammy Knoll, I think it was greatly motivated by things what you can do with technology. What is the purpose? In VC investing in female founders, that was also something that was tapped very much into Stephanie Keller-Bottom's comments. So yes, these are the views. Compared what we heard last 2 years ago, do we have here, a super radical idea yet how to make the difference? But I think also that we need to take these actions in multiple fronts, and I think the action we can ask it from ourselves or every morning in the mirror and look at the one there in the mirror and say, what could you do for this? And during the lunch break, it was also quite an interesting discussion. We ended up really bringing, by telling that let's really find the right, the back-end female programmers and technology specialists and bring them even more to the limelight. I really think that there was a great advantage in many ways to be a woman. I think we are a lot better at personal relationships, and then we have the capability, obviously, to telling it like it is when it's necessary. So that's what former Minister of State had said. So the question: what inspires you in working life? Let's look at now, how you find out the working life. And here you see the statistics. So I did some kind of frequency analysis and noticed that and made the conclusion: people and new things inspire you in working life, not in extrinsic rewards like money or glory. People was mentioned 26 times, new 23 times, challenge, learning, inspire, these kind of things, change, team, colleague, learn, develop. I deliberately also try to found in this material, so in proportion, Salary was mentioned once, money 2 times, these kind of things. Also, you can also think that are we shy on talking of these things? Or then you are also kind of a selected group of people that really like you are so driven towards innovation, so driven towards new things. I don't know. Or even is it kind of a socially acceptable that when we ask what inspires you in working life, so you end up thinking, you know, like there is a bit of a halo effect that, you know, that I want to reply how I should reply, and I'm not telling what I really think. But at least I can't make more conclusions out of this data more than tell you that people and new things inspire you in working life. And well, at least today I feel very much the same. I'm so energized by you and happy with all the new things I've learned. Women can't do everything at the same time. We need to understand milestones in our lives comes in segments. I think this was also very well put. And now the question is, how do we segment it? What would you give up, or what have you given up in your working life? And there are quite a lot of comments, as you can see, two slides out of it. So there are comments starting from, I've given up my comfort zone, not starting a family yet, left by blue-eyed softness somewhere, moving abroad to work, that I've given up. Nothing really was mentioned 10 times in the sample. So I think this is also a very important message. I haven't given up me time. It's only working time or mother time. I think that my life is in a good balance. I have 3 kids. I've still been able to build my career, travel, work when necessary, and it requires an awesome partner. And I think that is something that when you enter this kind of a unit called the family, so the way you live your family life. So then I think the other adult in the family setup in an organization called family is also very important. I haven't heard that topic discussed too much today. I recall it 2 years ago, that it was more in our minds. But I think it's a fair comment, you know, like that sometimes you need the awesome, significant other. And then, yes, I run a business and I'm an entrepreneur, so I sacrifice various things all the time. So it's the continuous balance in life. So I think that's one thing. And there is the wish that as I work in a male-dominated environment, I wish I had more female colleagues. But still, the respondent is saying that things are now a lot better than when I studied. The nerd community can be hostile towards female students, and the attitude was programming is difficult, and as a girl you cannot learn it. And I think we can also form tribes, different tribes where, you know, sometimes it's quite scary to approach a tribe called designers. They can talk totally of their own language. And then as a human, you know, behavior scientist, you thought that you could, you know, add to the discussion something, and you feel that the words in your mouth are not the right ones. So I personally, at least, discuss much better with coders, with developers. Okay, I've also learned the language for 15 years now. So I think our sprints and understanding how we write the epics and how we do the user cases and drop downs and scrums, they are much more familiar to me. But you know, you have your own domain, and then you need to go and explore to different languages, to different mindsets, to different multidisciplinary thoughts, and I think that makes me tick. I would give up for positions if it would jeopardize my family relationships. That's also kind of a very value-based comment. I've given up faster career progression in order to maintain better work-life balance. That's also kind of a value things. I don't feel that I've given up anything, but I have received prejudice because of my technical education and job. And then also it sounds like a bit of a sad story that people are really looking things from the perspective that, you know, it's more natural for a woman to be a nurse than an expert in technology or in technical domain. So I think that also was a comment that, you know, put me to think. But overall, you know, if we would ask the same thing from men, I would really like to get some replies to that one as well. What you have given up and what you've given up in your working life. I think there would be, you know, some of these I think it doesn't have to be related to gender. But we are here now in a very versatile group of women, or then not, but we are women mostly here, and we love technology, so they have brought us together. But I do not believe that the world would be entirely different if there were more women leaders. Maybe if everybody in leadership was a woman, you might not get into the conflicts in the first place. But if you watch the women who have made it to the top, they haven't exactly been non-aggressive, including me. So this kind of reflections from Secretary of State Madeleine Albright. So I think interesting self-reflections. So last but not least, some numbers, who love the numbers. So you are more interested in taking leadership responsibilities than 2 years ago, as the numbers are showing. So that is, I think, you know, a fair thing to say. For us who would like to see more women also in leading positions or having leadership as a task, as part of your job, I think this is good. We want to see you. And then, of course, we talk about the leadership, what is it in 21st century, 2015. So that would be an excellent thing to continue during our cocktails. Volvo's female designer team, you all know this great quote, if you meet the expectations of women, you exceed the expectations of men. Indeed. And then, would you like to be ready to start a career as an entrepreneur in technology? And I could also say that you are slightly more prepared of starting up a career as an entrepreneur in technology than 2 years ago. So here you see the results as well. So, and okay, not ready, extremely interested. However, I did some pivot tabling, thank you. And there is one thing that interests me, and I want to also challenge you, is the notion that there were a group of us replying very optimistically that I want to take leadership position as strong as 100%. And then this same group of people had very little interest, if none, to start entrepreneur in technology. And of course, it depends, you know, in which phase of your life path you are. I don't believe in careers, so I don't use that normally, that word. But it could be also the thing that maybe those who have not been in leadership positions so much yet have not realized that being a leader, man or woman, you actually are more of an entrepreneur. You have to have entrepreneurial skills. You have to carry risks. You have to carry responsibility. No matter if you're a leader or your task contains leadership in any organizational setting. So for those of us who replied strong interest to leadership positions, as you see, not all have, and I mean that's a fair thing, but then answered really modest interest towards becoming an entrepreneur in technology. There is something that, it's for you as think further, because my experience in doing a leadership task or being a, leadership-like position, it always contains entrepreneurial skills, including taking risks, taking care of each other, carrying responsibility. So that was kind of my finding when I did the piloting. So that was something that I noticed. I have said this many times, that there seems to be enough room in the world for mediocre men, but not for mediocre women. We really have to work very, very hard, concluded Madeleine Albright. Or as she said in one other interview, that she has met many mediocre men, but very, very, very seldom a mediocre woman, because often those women that came to her lifespan were actually superb. So I would like to thank you very much for sharing this with us, and thank you for listening to me and letting me the interpreter of your thoughts back to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.